Come beneath the veil.
Now we explore the mystical world of zombie. Now the zombie was created by Joe Carson years ago, and it's interesting how Joe Carson came up with it. He was playing around with a toilet float and the little rod it attaches to, and he was playing around with this under a cloth, and so the story goes, that's how he came up with this. So the spirit of play can conjure up some wonderful magical creations. This ball is very lightweight aluminum. It's very high gloss, very shiny, so you can't tell where actually the axis of the ball is. If there is any painting on the ball or anything, it doesn't create quite the same magical effect. The ball has a hole in the back to accept the cork gimmick, and this is the standard zombie gimmick. And the ball appears to float by manipulating this gimmick underneath the cloth. Now, I would suggest taking some pantomime lessons because you can really give the experience that the ball is floating if you put a little bit of a character inside of the ball and make it separate from you. And this is kind of an acting technique and something that I suggest you experience firsthand by taking some pantomime or dance classes. Now let's talk about the cloth. The zombie foulard, as it's usually called by magicians, this is a double weight. It's actually two cloths that are sewn together so the backlight will not go through it, so we can't see the gimmick as it goes up and down behind the cloth. For the demonstration, I'll be using a see-through cloth so you can see actually what I'm doing. First of all, this is something I picked up over the years. I no longer use the standard zombie gimmick. Instead, and I'll show you by comparison, I use a modified zombie gimmick, and this is called the Finjon bend. Now, Finjon came up with this, and Mark D'Souza passed it on to me, and this prevents the wire from going over the top, which is a common mistake. What happens when you have that ball up there, it's balanced, it's kind of heavy on your finger, and sometimes when the ball is just on the edge, it'll slip over. What happens with this gimmick, because of the bend, that little double bend, when the ball is balanced on the gimmick, there's more resistance there and it's not as likely to go over. So that's an essential piece of professional work on the zombie gimmick. Beginning the routine, there's a lot of ways to open the zombie routine. I think one of the best ways is just to have it set up on the table, in position already underneath the cloth. And this is what it would look like already set. Now when you get the zombie ball, they include a little base, and the base is nice. But for professional work,